All right. So hello, everyone around the world. My name is Tuan. I'll be your host today. So it's either going to be morning or evening, wherever you are around the world. And this is actually DeFi Day, where we basically introduce you to one of very many educators that are actually part of the DFI community. Now, I just want to let you guys know that the folks that are actually contributing their time, the effort, the energy, they're definitely in many different parts of the crypto space. Okay, so for them, this is something that they're feeling like they want to give back. You'll hear from Crypto Chelsea's story in a little bit, but you'll find that we're attracting all types of people that are in the crypto space. And Crypto Chelsea has actually been in many different social media platforms, providing value, content, giving back to the community that pretty much have no idea of how to get involved in the crypto space, NFT space, trading space. And, for the last few years, I've actually had a chance to not only get to know her recently, but been able to follow her on different parts of social media. I can tell that this is something that she's been doing for a few years. She enjoys it, she loves it, and she's actually become very successful at it. So I don't want to steal her thunder and take away from her story. She's going to be able to share that. But today we're in for a treat because she's going to share with everyone how cryptocurrency and DeFi and NFTs has really shaped her life and helped other people along the way. So with that, Crypto Chelsea, I'm going to pass it to you. Thank you so much for your time and for you to be able to contribute to the community here. So pass it to you.
Awesome. Yeah, well, I'm excited to be here with you guys with DEFI Academy. My name is Chelsea, Crypto Chelsea. Like you mentioned, so I've been in the crypto space since 2016. So I've been doing a lot in the space. I'm also a registered nurse, but I've been building huge communities. I run some of the biggest Facebook groups for cryptocurrency. Some of those especially geared towards women and also towards trading and now NFTs. So spoken at conferences before. I'm an advisor and ambassador, and I do a lot in the space because I'm super passionate about it. And I really like to educate people, especially the new people coming into the space, because I've been in it, like I said, for many years, and I still have something to learn every single day. So I am one of the educators here alongside Blockchain Wayne and his team. And we did have some really great content. And today I will be sharing with you guys a pretty basic overview of cryptocurrency, DeFi, NFTs, what I see for the future, why I think it's super important. And then I'll actually show you in demo a quick NFT that I've actually minted on the blockchain. And so a lot of this stuff that I'm going to introduce you to is really just a way for you guys to get a taste of what's to come in these educational packages. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and pull up my slide deck. So let me get that ready to go. And I will present and I'll go ahead and get started. And so if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask it in the Q&A. I'll be able to tackle that a little bit as I present. And if not, at the end of the session today, we can open it up for questions as well. But first off, welcome. I'm super excited you're here. I'm going to start going with the content. So really exciting topics today to talk about. So the first thing is really, really basic. So I like to introduce people in the simplest way to make sure they understand what the technology is that powers this cryptocurrency, this DeFi, and this NFT stuff, right? And so we have to know and understand what blockchain technology is. And for me, I never really heard of it, until 2016. And then people just kept saying it's going to be bigger than the internet. It's this technology that's going to enhance every single industry that we do. And now that I've been in this space for so many years, I see that coming along. I see that happening. You can even Google search any type of industry and the word blockchain, and you'll see the things being done. And so blockchain at its core is a decentralized digital ledger. So what does that mean? It basically means that it's a digital way to keep track of every single record that happens on this peer-to-peer network. So it does this through the computer, and it keeps track of every single transaction, and it does it in a public way. So that means anybody can view every transaction that's ever existed. It also encrypts the information. So that means it cannot be altered, and it allows for us to share data. So we can actually share contacts, records, NFTs, and any other type of data. And so this is super powerful because we've never been able to actually do transaction things like this before that we can trust and that's public for everyone to see. And so that's really what's shaping up all of these NFTs and DeFi and other things coming along. And so I like to tell people, just to simplify it, that the internet really gave us, this massive overload of data, but the blockchain is really giving us security and ownership of that data. And so that's pretty much the technology piece at its core. Now we'll kind of jump into what is cryptocurrency. And so in the simplest form, it's basically a digital asset. We always compare it to fiat money. So we know fiat money is our government issued currency, such as, the Mexico peso, the US has the dollar, Britain has the pound. Well, basically cryptocurrency is digital money. It's a form of digital money. And so some of the common ones are Bitcoin, which is the biggest, Ethereum, Cardano, and there's many, many other cryptocurrencies. Some of those are not going to probably make it, but part of the education team and what we do is we really teach you guys how to vet out projects and what to look for in a team in a specific asset to where you can make some better decisions. Now, it's really secure. Cryptocurrency is super secure for holding assets because, like I just said, it's on the blockchain. So this allows us to do these peer-to-peer transactions. So we don't have to know each other to be able to transact. And that's what's really powerful. I know we just mentioned how, this company is really spreading across the world. Well, I don't have to know anyone to send someone cryptocurrency. I can send it to someone in Venezuela or in Mexico, and it can be on the blockchain, and I can see that they actually got that transaction without me even knowing that person. And so that's really what this technology has given us. And it's really a shift of power that's happening, in this space. I already kind of mentioned it's a decentralized network. So this allows two people who don't know each other to be able to transact. So that's pretty powerful. And it really is a hedge over inflation. A lot of people ask me, why do you get in this space? What do you see about it? What gets you excited? And for me, living in the US, like, it's a way for my hard-earned dollars to be able to have more purchasing power. It's not prone to inflation because of the way the technology works and because we have a limited supply. And so when you understand banking and the history of money, it really allowed me to appreciate what cryptocurrency is and then where it's going in the future. Now, here's just a quick chart. I don't really go over every little detail, but you can just kind of see some of the big comparisons that we have with cryptocurrency versus fiat money. And so we can kind of see here, with cryptocurrency, like I said, there's a limited supply. So think of supply and demand, basic economics. For example, Bitcoin, I'll get to that in a second, has a limited supply. So when you deal with fiat money, which is our government issued currency, then if we need more of that, what does the government usually do? They just print more of it. They make it out of thin air, and then the value of it goes down. And so that's what I really like about cryptocurrency, is that they have a specific token, they have a specific amount of it. And when more people want that amount or want that asset, then it goes up in price. Another thing I want to mention too is that with cryptocurrency, it allows for those peer-to-peer fast transactions. So I can send Bitcoin to someone across the world, and within a few minutes, they have it with very, very little fees. But if I want to send it to someone in fiat money, we know it has to go through, a 2 to 3 day process. I'm going to pay a good bit in fees just to get that currency over to them. So this is just a really good chart that I like to explain to people just to understand the big differences. Now, why Bitcoin? What is Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin is the very first and the largest cryptocurrency. And so there is only 21 million of them. And so that's what really gets me excited, is because the last Bitcoin will be mined in the year 2140. Yeah, and I probably won't be around to see that, right? But what it says is that there's really just a limited supply left. And so just to let people know, you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. One Bitcoin right now is worth around $40,000, but you don't have to buy a whole one. You can buy fractions of that Bitcoin. And so in these courses that we do, we really try to walk people through, if you intimidated, how do we eliminate those barriers? What do you need to get educated with? What are some good exchanges for you to buy Bitcoin? You can just buy $5 or $10 worth if you want. And actually, that's what I recommend people do, is to just get a little amount, or I'll actually send them, their first $5 worth, because Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general is still very volatile. It's a new asset class, so it's going to go up and down in price. And it's really just good to get your feet wet, just kind of see what the cryptocurrency space is like, and then continue getting educated as you go on. Now, when I talked about Bitcoin, I just kind of like to mention what a Satoshi is. So similar to the way that cents work to a dollar, a Satoshi is the smallest unit of Bitcoin. And so a Satoshi, basically one Bitcoin equals 100 million Satoshis. So let's say you have, $10 worth of Bitcoin, then you might only have, 0.0001 of a Bitcoin. And all of this is explained. I know it might sound complicated if you're new to crypto and if you're new to the space, but that's really what we try to break down for you guys in these educational videos. Now, we'll talk a little bit about how to buy, store, send, and secure your crypto. So this is just very, very basic level. There's different ways to get involved. We kind of talk a lot about those, and there's so many newer ways coming on since I got involved. It was like the Wild Wild West back in 2016, and we really only had a few ways to actually buy cryptocurrency. But now we have a lot of options, And so you first need to set up an account. Usually the common ones, depending on where you live in the country, is Coinbase, Gemini, Kraken, and Crypto.com. Those are the common ones. You can also purchase on Robinhood, and then a lot of these applications are starting to come in. So this was something exciting to me because I started seeing mass adoption whenever my friends were like, hey, I have the Cash App, I can buy Bitcoin on it now. So it really started to create some waves in the space. Just because it made it easy for people to get involved and to get, to participate in cryptocurrency. You can also get it at Bitcoin ATM machines, and you can get it offline, in a local area as well. Now, if you don't want to just straight up go and purchase Bitcoin or purchase crypto, there is different programs and applications where you can get free Satoshis. So let's say you shop at Best Buy or you shop at Home Depot or something, you can actually utilize this app called Fold or Lolly. I have two of them listed here on the screen. And you can actually earn back cash back in Bitcoin or in Satoshis. So you basically buying what you normally would buy, but instead of getting cash back, you're getting cryptocurrency back. So it's really a good way to be able to do what you're continuing to do and earn something back at the same time. Now, this is just kind of walking you through what you do to set up an account. So let's say you're interested, the first thing a lot of these companies are doing is something called Know Your Customer. So this is something that's mandated based on where you live. And it's basically you have to complete identity requirements to be able to first purchase your crypto. So you'll have to show your social security number, you'll have to show your license. And this is just part of the process now. And part of it being regulated, which to me is really a good thing in this sense, because, the government's kind of like, okay, this cryptocurrency stuff's not going anywhere. Let me put some things in place to be able to do the know the customer regulations based on the law. And then after that, I always tell people, whenever you set up an account, if you see anything with 2FA, it's a really good thing to set that up. It's an extra layer of security because there's a ton of scams, a ton of hackers. Any new space and shift in technology, they all flock to that. And so we see it a lot in crypto. And so once again, that's a lot of things that we cover throughout the academy, is how to protect yourself from these scams and what to look out for. What are some of these common ways that they're trying to target people? And so I could focus on just a whole hour or 2 hours just on NFT scams right now, because I get probably like 50 of them a day. So it's really good to just keep your eyes out on that as well. Now, here's an exciting topic. We have something called DeFi that's pretty much been emerging, especially the last few years, I would say. And so DeFi stands for decentralized finance. And DeFi is basically an open and global financial system that's built for the internet. So now that we have that blockchain technology I talked about, it's really utilizing that technology to be able to not have to rely on brokerages, exchanges, or banks to be able to do these financial transactions. And so this is huge because there's companies like Celsius, which I have their shirt on. There's a ton of other DeFi companies that are coming into the space that allow you to borrow and to lend for very, very low amounts. And so it's really better rates than the banks would ever offer. And so a lot of people are really getting involved with DeFi because it is a better way. I know one specific example, speaking of DeFi, is that the Anchor wallet with Luna is offering on a stable coin, which a stable coin is an asset that's pegged to a currency. So it does not fluctuate in price, but it's called UST. And you can actually get back close to 19% annual percentage yield by staking money with a stable coin on that. And so that's just some really exciting numbers, because DeFi really is powerful because it allows you to be able to take advantage of that without having to go through a bank. You know, you can do that all yourself. It restores the power back to you as the people, and it moves us away from what we used to. So it's a little scary, but we have a whole lot of topics on DeFi, and it's really one of my favorite things to talk about because it's evolved so much within the last few months. So it's really a cool thing to talk about. Now, yeah, so just basically kind of going back on DeFi, it really lets us borrow, save, invest, and trade more money. And so the banks are really going to have to get creative. I've heard of banks. I've actually had banks approach me to educate their staff on what DeFi can mean for them and how they can capture some of this market. So that's pretty powerful. The banks are paying attention. Trust me, they're looking into it. Now let's kind of touch on trading basics. I like to just briefly cover this topic, mainly because I was a trader. I am a trader. I traded Forex prior to trading cryptocurrency. I've been trading crypto in general for over 6 years now. And so I've learned a lot. I learned a lot of hard lessons. And before I even get into trading, I just want to let people know that it really is a lot of psychology that goes into it. It's not so much just skill set. You know, I thought, hey, there's this new thing called cryptocurrency. You can make money. Let me try to learn it. You know, if I can learn everything and learn the technical part of it, I can do really well. Well, that didn't really work out for, you know, super good until I really understood risk management. What am I getting involved in? What am I investing in? You know, a lot of that I was just doing blindly. And so it's really important to do your own research and to know what you're putting your money towards. And that's really one of the things we cover as well. And so there's two different things I tell people is that we have investors and we have traders. So two completely different topics, but you can be both. But I like to tell people, if you're an investor, then your goal is really just to invest long-term. You don't really care about the day-to-day. The best thing to do for that is something called DCA, which we call it DCA, but it stands for dollar cost averaging. And this basically is you buying a consistent amount of that asset over a period of time. So by doing this just with Bitcoin itself, I think it's some crazy percentage if you would have done that consistently over the last few years. So just kind of plug in those numbers. You can go to dcabtc.com and just see what it would be worth, because it would have definitely outperformed any other investment out there. I don't care what it is, but the numbers are really astronomical. And so this really just shows you that DCA is a really good strategy. Not only for other, you know, asset classes, but especially for cryptocurrency. And then they have the trading side. So this is kind of what I do. I pretty much swing trade. I have a strategy that I work towards. I've been trading for about 6 years, and it really involves risk management, psychology. You kind of knowing your entries, letting the trades come to you, you not trying to pick it out, keeping that balance, and really just doing research for projects. And so, you know, through this course and through these modules, we really kind of break down, if you want to become a trader, what path you need to go down, because it's a lot to learn, but it really is rewarding, you know, once you kind of know how to capture on some of these markets, because the markets can go up super quick, super fast, or it can go down fast. And so we really show you how to capitalize on a lot of that too. I'm just going to go ahead and skip a few of these. This is just kind of my toolkit. So I like to show people, what does it take to be able to be a good trader? What are some things you have to have in place? And so I can spend, like I said, an hour probably on each of just these topics right here that we see. But I mean, the crypto market 24/7, don't stop. You have to have the right mindset. I talked about trading analysis. So there's a bunch of different things that goes into it that we have to look at. We also have to stay on top of the news. We have to use trading platforms. So there's a bunch that I know that I use every day. We teach a little bit about indicators and different alerts and how to make your life easy, because I'm busy, you know, I don't have time to just sit in front of a computer and trade all day. So there's ways that you can make it work for you. And then you also have to have that discipline strategy as well. So this right here is really my secret sauce of what it takes to become a really good trader in the space. Now, here we go, my favorite topic. And so here we go in NFTs. NFTs has really evolved, especially over the last year. I first got involved with NFTs probably a little over 2.5 years ago. Blockchain Wayne actually been telling me, about this NFT stuff probably 3-4 years back. And I never really paid attention to it. He's like, NFTs are going to be big. It's the way it works. It's a transaction. You can actually send data across the blockchain and it goes into your digital wallet. And I really didn't see the big picture of it back then. And then about 2 years ago, he started to really push it. He's like, you really need to look at this. It's a really, it's really defining smart contracts and what we can do with data. And so I'm like, okay, finally I checked it out and I just went down this rabbit hole, so it became really fun. And now I would say I probably spend about 5 to 6 hours almost of every day doing NFT stuff. And so it's really evolving. There's a lot of celebrities, a lot of corporations, a lot of athletes getting involved in the space. And so we'll kind of walk through a few things. And so let me pull that up. So NFT, it stands for a non-fungible token. And so in the digital world, it's basically a rare digital collectible. So NFTs could be anything you can think of. So it could be art, it could be photography, music, videos, a meme. So you don't have to become a famous artist or anything. Like my daughter actually has a picture she drew of an NFT. So if I wanted to put that on the blockchain, I can actually put that on the blockchain and someone else could buy it. And so it's really powerful when I explain to people that the big takeaway is that it's a way for creators to get back royalties as well. And so let's say I put a piece of work on the blockchain and I say that every time it sells across the world or, in the digital marketplace, every time it sells that I would get back 5% or 10%. And so, that NFT, I can mint it on the blockchain for very, very cheap. My artwork could go across the world. Someone can buy it. Someone else can buy it. It can exchange, 100 or 1,000 times. And every single time that transaction happens on the blockchain, I get back my 10% in royalties. And so it's really powerful because that has never been able to be done before, because you don't have to trust anyone. You don't have to trust anyone. You don't have to actually come in physical contact with that person. That NFT could have tons of utility behind it. So it's not just a picture of a JPEG. That's one of the myths that people tell me is like, Chelsea, why are you doing this NFT stuff? I can just take a picture of it on my phone. I can screenshot it and, that value's there. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's completely different. I tell people that an NFT is similar to a theme park ticket. And so let's say the entryway for you to get into that theme park is to show me that NFT. And then once you get into that theme park, then you have access to food, to music, to merchandise, maybe to subsequent visits. Maybe you get access to other parks for free. It just builds on from there. And so that's what we call utility in the NFT space. And so it opens up a ton of doors. And so that's just really one of the things I'm super excited about, is because NFTs and what we see now with these pictures is really just the beginning of what's to come, as far as NFTs go. So here's some of those common use cases. We've seen it with music, digital art, trading cards, gaming, fashion, like virtual fashion stuff is happening big time. In other words, you can buy an NFT of a pair of shoes. You can wear that pair of shoes in the metaverse, and you can also get that same pair of shoes shipped to your house. And so we're starting to see companies really try to figure out how to combine the in real life world with the digital world. And it's just creating a really powerful movement, that we're starting to see right now. And I mentioned the metaverse a while ago. The metaverse is basically, Meta stands for like the world beyond the world we live in now, and it stands for data. And then verse is just short for universe. So I tell people that's how we get the metaverse. And it's really just combining, you existing in a digital world. So things that we couldn't do in the physical world, we can actually do in a digital world. And so that's where we have this digital real estate come in. A lot of businesses are actually getting properties to be able to set up like a shop in a digital world for people to go to with their avatars and be able to buy real world products. And so I think I saw a post today or last week or something about Starbucks really taking on what the metaverse is and NFTs. Same thing with CVS Pharmacy. Like there's a bunch of big companies that are really trying to see how to bring their business they have now that is in the real world into the digital world. And so you can just see these numbers here that I have on the screen, like the potential of it going from 3.75 trillion all the way to 12.46 trillion. That's pretty significant. And so we started to see that shift happen for sure. All right. Yeah, speaking of the metaverse, one of the big components of that is these play to earn games. And so this allows us to have digital identities. You can have assets and ownerships. The gaming industry in itself is worth millions. And so a lot of these big game developers are creating games in or on the blockchain. And within that, you get to earn digital assets as well. So some of the avatars and things you're using in these virtual games in the metaverse, you can use in other games as well. And so it's really creating a whole ecosystem, you know, and so I'm not specifically a huge gamer, but I know the potential of it. There's really some crypto assets. I know Axie Infinity is a huge one. Just the amount of money that people are making just gaming is really unbelievable. So that's one of the things I have on my list to learn more about is play to earn gaming for sure. And then I have some tips here. I'm actually going to skip this section because I think I have a few more minutes left, but I want to use the last few minutes to pull up some NFT stuff. And so let me switch it here and let me just go into some NFT stuff real quick. And I only wanted to show this just because I'm super passionate about NFTs. I've been doing NFT stuff like pretty hardcore, like I said, the last maybe 2 years or so. And I've really learned a lot of strategies, a lot of techniques to be able to understand what's happening with the market, join a bunch of discords, follow the projects, you know, try to get whitelisted and all these terms. Like I said, if it sounds kind of crazy, I didn't know what it was not that long ago. So it's really just a learning process. But I'm going to go ahead and pull up one of the NFTs that I purchased. And I just kind of want to walk you through what that was like. Maybe how did I get on the mint list? What did I sell? Because I did sell some of these as well. And what is it worth now? And so I just kind of want to walk you through a project called Cyber Brokers. And so this is a project that I minted. Let me think. Let me actually go look at my transaction. So exactly a month ago, well, actually a little over a month ago. So on March 4th, I minted 3 NFTs, 3 Cyber Broker NFTs. And so just to kind of walk you through what happened and how I got whitelisted for that is that there was a post that I saw in a community that said, hey, this OG girl, her name's Josie. She is an artist and she'd been in the crypto space since like probably 2016, 2015. And she's launching a project. She already had some projects that went well. She was a huge into Bitcoin and stuff as well. And so she was like creating a new project called Cyber Brokers. And they said, you just need to follow her Discord, follow her on Twitter and enter into a raffle. And that's all I did. And I was like, okay, cool. This looks neat. Let me follow her on Twitter. Let me join the Discord. And so the Discord looked like this. So this is Discord right here. It's a program that we use a lot for NFTs. And you can see I have Cyber Brokers here. And so I'm like, okay, cool. I joined the Discord. Well, next thing you know, they were like, okay, here's a cutoff date. Anyone who joined the Discord and Twitter got 2 NFTs. And if you won a raffle, then you got another mint for another NFT. And so I was actually able to mint 3 of these Cyber Broker NFTs. And the mint price was pretty high. So the mint price was 0.3. But pretty much instantly when we were able to mint. And so to mint an NFT, it basically means we can go to that website, purchase the NFT for whatever price that project says, and then it's minted onto the blockchain where it's in my digital wallet. And so what happened was I minted 3 of them. So that cost 0.3 Ethereum. And right almost instantly, I was able to sell one of them for 1 Ethereum. So I instantly got my money back. And then if you can just see, let me just try to pull up some stuff here. Let me go back to the project itself. And here you can see the collection of them. So just for this project specifically, they have 10,000 of these that exist. And we have 3.7 thousand owners. And this right here, what you see is a floor price. So this means this is the lowest price that someone can get a cyber broker for. And so let me just do some quick education and show you guys on CoinGecko what that floor price would be. Now, this don't happen for all projects. Like I said, this project did really, really good, really fast. It was, pretty much guaranteed profit by the time I went into it. But it's just really learning who was behind that project, who was the developers, what did that team had to offer, what was the roadmap like. There was a lot of things that I saw that I liked in it, so I just held on to this NFT. But you can see this one right now. Like I said, I bought this one for 0.3 Ethereum. And right now it's worth 3.75 at the minimum, which is over $11,000. So I still have this one in my wallet right now. Not sure yet what I'm gonna do with it, if I'm gonna hold on to it or sell it. It is one of the rare ones because I have people putting offers in for it right now, but I don't know, we'll wait and see. My plan is to maybe hold it a few more months and see what happens. But I just wanted to walk you guys through a little bit about what it takes to be able to get involved in the NFT space. I mean, I didn't do anything special. I joined her Discord, I joined her Twitter. It looked like a cool project. And then I made a decision. Did I want to invest and mint it, or did I want to sit it out? And obviously this one paid off. So yeah, it's really, really fun to be able to do stuff like that in the space and to share some of that knowledge with you guys. I know a lot of you, just a reminder, if you got these basic bundles, 1, 2, and 3, for you guys to register for that first live session, or the first 5 lessons, I'm sorry. And also it's important, get back with the people who sent you to this video. We really are passionate about educating the masses. I know I'm focused on that. That's really what I do almost full time, doing these communities, speaking at conferences and things like that. My passion really is to help educate people and answer those questions and really give you the information you need to make better decisions. And so I'll just kind of wrap it up. With that being said, I think we had almost at the end of time here. And so I'll just kind of open it up or give it back to Twan and just see if he has any questions for me or if there's anything that you guys want me to go back over. So thank you guys, appreciate it. And I encourage you guys to all continue to learn about the academic packs that we have to offer, because this is just a little bitty taste of what you're going to get.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Chelsea, you can hear me, right? Very cool.
Yes,
Well, first of all, I mean, wow, very, very powerful. I love the fact how straight to the point in terms of all the different areas of crypto. And when I first learned about crypto, just like what you were talking about, it was just going over my head and I wasn't understanding it. And I think when people understand the intricacy behind it and how all of it kind of works together, it's there's endless possibilities of an opportunity, like how you were just sharing with us, how you were able to actually just get connected and be able to find, you were just invited, right place, right time, you got whitelisted, and all before you know it, you were able to actually take advantage of that NFT. And I think like what you said a lot, what did you say in one of your education? You said it's like, there's like 4 or 5 T's, like team, timing.
Technology, team, timing. Oh, now I'm on the spot. I'm trying to remember. Technology, team, timing. What's the other one?
I know.
Tokenomics, maybe? I don't remember.
Yeah,
it's something important.
Yeah.
Maybe it was tokenomics.
Yeah, I think it's tokenomics. It's like there's 4 T's that you have to look at, and you got to make sure if all those things are checked off, then it's not a guarantee, but there's best chance of being able to actually really capitalize on the hype and the momentum and stuff like that. So really exciting stuff. So honestly, there's nothing else. I don't know if anyone else has anything else to share. We will have this recorded available because we have people all around the world that are watching this during their time zone. So we will have this uploaded later on today, and we'll make sure we'll have it available for everyone. But outside of that, Chelsea, we really do appreciate your time, and hopefully people will continue hearing you more often, so that way they can continue to learn from you. It's a huge inspiration to be able to actually see to me, it's like, it's super exciting to not just see just men doing it, but being able to see women that are very strong, really excited about being part of the community. So that's pretty much it. Anything else you want to share before we wrap up the Zoom?
No, I just want to let everybody know, happy to be able to present here today, and that hopefully you had some things to take away The space is really growing super fast. And like I said, even for someone like me who's been involved for so long, education really is key. And I feel like with DEFINITY, we really have a one-size-fits-all solution, to be able to walk everybody through things and make everyone feel comfortable. So I know I'm super happy to be here, and I appreciate you letting me do the presentation today. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. And that wraps up today's Zoom. And with that, we'll see everyone in the next event. And hopefully we'll see many of you guys on Thursday on the first live lessons as well. So with that, take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, everyone. Thank you, Chelsea.
Bye.